Whew. All right. So, guys, we're back. Coach Cree Chase, Urban Hit Fit, Kansas City, with Brian Hughes here, Dr. Brian Hughes. So we've been trying to go on live. We actually tested this out yesterday on Zoom, and we tested it out to make sure everything is good, the audio and everything like that, and everything worked out perfect yesterday. Then, of course, the day we freaking needed to go live at 3 p.m., it doesn't work. Right now it's 3:28. We've been trying for the last 35 minutes to get it to work, and it didn't work. So we decided that I'm jumping on my phone here too. I'm gonna text people too, just let them know that you got to catch on the replay now. So I'm sorry, guys, apologize, but we can't control that. I know Zoom, since the coronavirus and stuff has been going on, I know a lot of people have been subscribing to Zoom. That's what I'm using to record this video. Brian's you're at work right now, right, Brian?
Right.
And I know a lot of people been subscribing to Zoom. And Zoom actually hired a couple thousand new employees because of all the volume that's coming for people working at home. I actually went to Best Buy to check out to try to buy a webcam, and all the webcams were sold out of all the Best Buys around the area because everybody's been working from home. So yeah, so it's been crazy. It's been a crazy day for us. But anyway, welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna post.
Good to be here.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're here, man. So we're gonna talk today about the coronavirus. That's the main topic going on right now. It's freaking crazy stuff that's been happening on, and we're gonna go over that and why you should not social distance yourself from people right now, just and how to protect yourself and stay safe. Today, things are changing, so just let them know a little bit about yourself, who you are. Some people don't know who you are. A lot of people do, but go on, man.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, my name is Brian Hughes, and I'm a physician, primary care physician by training. So I do family practice, all ages, all kinds of issues. So taking care of a lot of infections, a lot of people with colds, flus, viruses, things like we're dealing with now. Right now I do palliative care. So I really take care of the sickest of the sick people right now with what I do. I take care of people in their homes, nursing homes, and in the hospital too, where I'm at now, or the hospitals that I go to. And so we're in the middle of this thing, this pandemic, and just trying to make sense of it all. So.
Okay. All right. So I guess, dude, you're right in the middle of it. I mean, you are dealing with people every single day with it. So, I mean, what have you seen? What's going on? How long have you seen this? I mean, I have a lot of questions for you, but I mean, when did it start for you guys? When you guys start seeing it? When you guys noticed it? And what have you guys been doing?
So yeah, I guess I'll start with just saying that when you hear the term pandemic, that's what we're in now, and that's basically means that this disease has gone worldwide. It's not just in one area; it's spread. This started, as far as we know, it started in China, in one area, and we believe it was started from animal transmission, animal to human transmission. Don't know for sure. It might have been bats, or it might have been something called a pangolin, which is kind of like an armadillo that we have here. But somehow a virus that was inside an animal as a host transferred to human. And the virus is called a coronavirus, which is actually a family of different viruses. So there's tiny microscopic particles that cause these infections. And the
doesn't have anything to do with Corona beer.
It has nothing to do with Corona beer for sure. Yeah, complete coincidence. It's safe. Corona beer is safe. But yeah, the family of viruses called coronaviruses, and those are fairly common. Actually, the coronaviruses are responsible for some of the common colds that we get. But in this case, it's a lot worse strain of virus, and it's also similar to the type of virus that caused the SARS epidemic a few years ago, and then the MERS, MERS, similar type of virus. So this actual type of virus is called the SARS coronavirus 2, which is the strain of virus, and it is causing a disease which they've named COVID-19. So it's a short for coronavirus. In 2019, which is when these cases started. They first started being reported in China at the end of December, and then spread from there, and spread quickly, which is part of the scary part of this thing. And it's a virus that is new, which means that none of us as humans have seen it, so we don't have immunity against it yet. We don't have the antibodies that it takes to mount a response to fight the infection. And so that's a lot of the reason why people are getting sicker, and it's also spreading so quickly because people don't have immunity to this virus. So it spread. We started seeing it with, I think here in the United States, the first reported cases a few weeks ago. I think there's a question of whether it may have been here a little bit before that, but part of the issue is there hasn't been testing for it. The tests were in shortage, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard about that, how there weren't enough tests to go around. It took a while to get the test to where we needed to. So it is a possibility that this has been around for longer than what we've actually seen these positive tests come up as. It's fortunately, it's been slower to get to where we're at here in Missouri. And I looked as of today, we've got 28 cases in Missouri and 1 death so far in Missouri. So it seems like a small amount of numbers, but I think that that's going to grow now that it's spreading, and also we have tests for it now too. So as we've got the test, people will test positive who are having the symptoms. So definitely starting to see it in the hospitals, and the hospitals are ramping up, trying to get ready for patients that we hope we don't have a lot of volume of, but if we look at what's happening in other countries, they are having a lot of patients, and it can overwhelm the hospital. So doing what we can here to help make sure we've got enough resources, enough protection supplies, enough people, nurses, doctors, respiratory therapists, people that take care of patients that come in here. But it's scary. It's a scary time. Part of because this is kind of like predicting the weather right now. Nobody has seen this before, this type of virus. And so while we can look at best case scenarios and worst case scenarios, really it'll probably be somewhere in between those. And it's just trying to predict what's going to happen at this point.
Yeah. Dang, man. That's a lot of crazy stuff. And from what I've read, you said respiratory therapist, so it's mostly in the lungs. Is that correct?
Right. So this particular virus has an affinity for the cells that are in the lining of the respiratory tract. So lungs, back to the nasal cavity and down the throat. So that's also how it's transmitted. It infects those cells, gets into the mucus, gets into the saliva, and causes damage to those areas, causes the symptoms, but then that's also how it spreads. So coughing is one of the major symptoms of this. And so by having people who are infected, they cough and they have enough of the virus, and then the droplets in the air from people coughing then get transmitted either directly if somebody coughs on you and it comes into contact with your nose or mouth, but then also if they're coughing or touching, and they're touching other things, tables, doorknobs, handshakes, things like that. They're touching things that then you then touch and then touch your face. That can cause problems with transmission too. And the virus hits those cells and starts in the throat. So the first typical symptom that's been reported is a sore throat, and then causes a fever, and then a cough, and then can lead to shortness of breath. And then in other people who get more severe cases, they start having a lot of trouble breathing and can even go into respiratory failure where their lungs don't work anymore. And those are obviously the worst case scenarios, and the people who are getting the sickest, and then unfortunately the people who are dying of this.
Yeah. Dang, man. And so, okay, you said coughing, touching, and can you explain also what touching the face means, 1, and 2, how long is it living? How long is this virus living in the air or on surfaces?
So yeah, that again, that's why we hear so much about keeping our hands clean, washing your hands, because one common way of transmission is if you get the virus on your hands from touching something that another person has touched who is infected. And it's hard not to touch your face. Most of us don't even think about it. We scratch our nose or touch our lip or rub our eye, and
is it basically like when it gets into like your stream, like if you touch your mouth, when it goes into your saliva and your nose? Because what if you just do this? What if you just touch your skin?
No, if you just touch if you just touch your skin, it's not transmitted through the skin. So you'd actually have to touch a place where it's going to get into the mucous membrane, either inside your mouth, inside your nose. You've actually got to implant the virus there. So the virus will typically live very long on just regular skin. So if you're, if you do have to touch your face, if you have to scratch your forehead or something, that's not something that's typically going to cause you to get infected. But it's anywhere where there's saliva, mucus in the nose, the eyes too. We think, from what I've seen, that I think there's possibly some receptors there. It's not as likely to transmit through your eyes, but it's still a danger. So it's best not to touch your eyes. But that's hard to do. You hear that said, don't touch your face, but most of us don't think about it. So it really almost
makes you mindful.
It takes willpower to not touch your face, because as soon as you start not trying to touch your face, that's when everything itches.
That's when you freaking touch your face.
Mouth. And so, it's spread, like I said, too, through droplets. So when somebody coughs and the saliva droplets get into the air, and initially they thought that it was just those droplets, and then as soon as they are coughed out, they fall onto something or fall onto the floor. But there's been a study just actually looked at yesterday that there's a concern that the droplets, once somebody coughs in the air, that it can actually hang out in those droplets in a short distance for about 3 hours potentially. And then what's even more concerning is that the droplets, if they land on tabletop, doorknob, things like that, anything plastic or metal, they think that the virus can last on a surface like that up to 3 days. So that's a long time too for a virus to live outside the body, and also one of the reasons why disinfecting has been really important to keep surfaces clean. Use bleach, use alcohol solutions. Typically any household cleaner, if it's meant for cleaning, has a disinfectant enough to hit those surfaces, but it's important.
There you go. Uh-oh, Brian, you're coughing.
No. I don't have coronavirus.
Hey, what about sex, transmission through sex? I know a lot of people are curious about that.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, as far as sexual genital contact, it is not transmitted that way. However, generally though, if you're close enough to somebody to have sex, you're going to be sharing other fluids, and you're too close anyway. So it's best not to, but it's not transmitted sexually. So yeah.
Hey, unless it's like the movie. Have you seen the movie Booty Call with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson? So there's a scene in there where and the girl goes, "Hey, you can't do that. You want to get some good hygiene." He's like, "Go get some Saran wrap. Go get some Saran wrap." So he goes to get Saran wrap because they were going to do some sexual stuff with the Saran wrap, and they come back in, and the guys didn't know what to do with it. They're like, "What the hell do I do with Saran wrap?" And he ends up wrapping his whole body from head to toe in his head. Then he accidentally suffocates himself because he wrapped his whole face and everything. He's like, you stupid ass, you're not supposed to wrap your whole body in your head with it. You're supposed to put it around my genital areas, fool.
Well, I don't know if they've done studies yet on Saran wrap, if it's protects you against coronavirus, but I probably wouldn't try that either. So.
Yeah. All right, let's see. All right, I got a couple more questions, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. Well, as you know, we've been having the gym open still, and we've been spraying like a mug, man. We've been spraying and cleaning. Everybody's been doing their part. It's been awesome. All the members have been coming in, and we've kept it less than 10 people pretty much. Last night we had 4 people at 7 p.m. and I've been setting out workouts, as you know, and you did one of the live workouts too.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to keep our members and people in this community going is keep doing your workouts, guys. Can you talk about that, Brian, about exercise and how that is with, how does this help out with strengthening immune systems and just how it goes together?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's important. We talk about the steps that we can take to limit our risk of this, and we've talked some about those. So wash your hands. That's really important because, like I said, the virus, if it's on your hands and you touch your nose, touch your mouth, then you're going to infect yourself. Hand sanitizer, disinfecting, bleach, household cleaners, things that will kill the virus. And staying away from things that make you catch that. So since it's person to person as well, recommendations are you stay 6 feet away from other people to protect yourself from areas where those droplets can get and the chance that they're infected. And then the CDC now recommending that we stay in groups of 10 or less. They reduced that from 50 down to 10. And so that's a lot of the reason why these places are closing, restaurants, certain stores and things like that, just to minimize that, so that if you're staying away distance from people. But it's still with that in place, and more people now staying home and staying out of the public, it's really, really important that we stay active. We have to keep ourselves healthy, and you have to keep your immune system healthy. And without a doubt, one of the best ways to do that is to keep exercising. Have to keep moving, have to keep blood flowing, have to keep the muscles working for a lot of different reasons. Most of the time when we think about exercise, we're talking about trying to stay healthy physically, we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to look good, we're trying to be able to run farther, or jump higher, do whatever your goals may be, and that's all good. But just for overall health, it's absolutely critical at this point that people stay active, that they exercise. It helps keep your immune system healthy, helps keep your brain healthy, helps keep us mentally with reduced stress. And so, for sure, right now, exercise is key part to reducing our chance of both being infected and staying healthy, but then also just staying mentally healthy at this time too. And it's just one of the big ways we can reduce our risk, especially since a lot of us are stuck at home, like me, either at work or home, and back to work again, back to home. So that's why I've been doing the online workouts, doing workouts at home by myself, but I'm still connected. So really, really important for me mentally and physically.
Nice. Awesome, man. Let's go right along with that, right? Because we always talk about working out. Let's talk about nutrition. So is diet a factor? Is nutrition a factor? In that, I know that a lot of people said, I know Johnny Tucker told me the other day, he said he went to the grocery store, and the grocery store actually changed the layout of the grocery store, which in a bad way, in the sense of now, where all the main products used to be the healthy products, they've actually replaced it with fucking cookies and things like that, because they know that's what people are going to buy, especially because a lot of people they shop on emotion, and they buy things based on that. And the crazy thing is, I hear like all the health foods are still on the shelves, vegetables, fruits. The things that are running out are all the prepackaged crap. So is diet a factor, and how important is that?
Sure, diet definitely is. What you eat and your nutrition is going to play a part in your overall health, which affects your immune system too. And that's what's hard about this. I know that with people knowing they're going to be inside more, and people are panicking about being stuck at home and maybe not getting to get out to go get food, and so they're buying things that have a longer shelf life. So processed foods, packaged foods, high sugar, high fat foods that are they'll keep longer, but unfortunately those aren't good for you. Those aren't healthy for you. The more those kind of things you eat, more weight gain you have, but also just the harder it is on your body. And so we really should be focusing not only just on exercise, but also on our nutrition. It's even more important now that a lot of us are going to be stuck inside. You have to watch what you eat. So really trying to limit, just like we'd say for overall health anyway, trying to limit processed foods, trying to limit simple sugars, trying to limit alcohol, and trying to really focus on whole foods, even though I know that whole foods aren't the ones being bought right now. I know I did the same thing. I had to run in real quick to the store and couldn't find any. There's no bread. There's no pasta. There's no, as I kind of walked through all those areas of the store empty. And then I went over to the fruits and veggies and had plenty of everything. And I get it. Nobody's buying those because they know they'll go bad quickly. But there are other things that you can get too. You can buy that will last, that are still healthy. You can do frozen vegetables, frozen fruits. You can do things like beans, rice, lentils, nuts. Those are all healthy foods that still are not perishable, so they'll keep a while, and you can eat those at home and still maintain a good diet. So if you're used to eating a balanced diet, it's really important to try to continue to do that. And if you're not eating a balanced diet, then work harder to try to do that, because it's even more important now that a lot of us may not get as much physical activity because we're inside. So definitely diet is critical, just as important as exercise, if not more important.
All right. And let's see, I know I got a couple more questions. I know we got about 12 minutes left, so let's go through some stuff here. I actually had a text message question because we couldn't get on live. Let's see, what's the text question? I would like to know, if someone has been sick, whether it's a common cold, the flu, or maybe even coronavirus, how long should that person wait before they go back to training at the spot or at any gym at all?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now with everything going on, and this is really a good rule of thumb anytime, even without this pandemic, if you are sick, if you have symptoms, if you have a cold, if you have the flu, if you have anything where you're showing symptoms, you're contagious at that point with showing symptoms. So it's best to stay home. Don't come to the gym. Don't go anywhere where you're going to be around people and going to share it with them. So if you do have symptoms, if you do have an infection, even just common cold, but especially if it's something like influenza, or even more importantly, of course, right now with coronavirus, although we're still don't know as much about this virus as we do other things to know how long that virus stays active in your system. A general rule of thumb, though, is that to be safe, you should not be around people. You should not really be at work, be at the gym, be anywhere where you could infect other people for at least 24 hours after your fever's gone and symptoms are gone. Sometimes we'll say 72 hours, depending on the situation. But also, if you're not sure what you've had, it's best that it's also, even after that fever's gone, that it's at least 7 days since the symptoms have started. So if you get a cough and a fever on one day, but then your fever's gone the next day, you're still not safe. So it's got to be at least 7 days from the onset of those first symptoms. If you've been exposed to something, and especially with this coronavirus, if you've been around somebody who's been in contact, right now the recommendations are to quarantine for at least 14 days, because after you've been exposed to the virus, on average, people are showing symptoms within about 4 to 5 days, but it can be up to 14 days. And so that's why the strict recommendations that if you've been exposed to this by someone, that you stay away from other people for 14 days. But again, if you are sick, it has to be at least 24 hours after the fever is broken, and then at least 7 days since the symptoms first started. But as we're seeing more of the coronavirus, those recommendations may change as we find out more about how long that virus actually stays active in your system. Right. But it's not the time to tough it out. I know a lot of us think, and I know I'd heard before that, if you have a cold, the best thing to do is to exercise, to try to work it out and stuff. If you don't have the symptoms, exercise is fine, but don't go to the gym. Don't take that chance to infect other people. Wait until you're healthy, wait until you're recovered. And now that's more important than ever. So,
yeah. I had a client.
Question.
I had a client that just had like a baby cough or wasn't feeling very well, and they texted me, "Should I come in?" I was like, "Hell no, don't come in. Just stay your ass home. It's fine. You'll be all right, man. Just get a workout at home, or use it as a recovery day or something, and see how you feel tomorrow."
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. What else? I wrote a couple things down here. How can working out? Okay, let's see. Somebody else is texting me. Hold on a second. We already talked about immune systems. Is everybody at the same risk? I saw somebody online that was in their 30s, and she was in a hospital in ICU and couldn't breathe at all in her lungs. She was 39 years old. and she was laying next to somebody in their 50s and somebody in their 60s. So, you know, it doesn't have no, like they just say, bullet has no name on it. Coronavirus has no name on it. It can affect anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the scary things about this virus is that it seems like anybody can get it. Anybody can have symptoms and get sick. For the most part, the people who are at higher risk are the people who are older. So far, the people who are age 60 plus have accounted for about 80% of the people who have the deaths from coronavirus. Even higher risk at age 80 plus, but other risk factors too, which is interesting because the risk factors so far for people who get sicker from coronavirus are also the risk factors that we talk about a lot for just overall good health. Those are high blood pressure. So people with high blood pressure at higher risk, people with heart disease, people with lung disease, asthma or emphysema are certainly at higher risk.
So smoking cigarettes is bad.
Exactly. No smoking cigarettes. Obesity actually by itself has been a risk factor for people to get sicker with coronavirus, and then diabetes also. Those are some of the biggest things. So yeah, it can affect people at any age. Children, so far, it looks like they can get sick, but so far children don't get as sick as adults. And then of course, older adults tend to get sicker and account for a lot of the really serious illness and death. But we're also seeing it more in the younger age groups, 30, 40s, even some serious cases, whereas a lot of times with other viruses, those people generally don't have serious symptoms. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think also, you know, with because you mentioned obesity too, and again, a lot of the things that a lot of times people start working out and they start joining a fitness program and doing things because they've already gotten obese. They've already let themselves go or something happened or whatever the case. And then now they're being reactive. And the cool thing is, and I love your message too, is we need to be more proactive. And that's the message. I think that's one of the best things that we're giving out to the world right now is being proactive and boosting your immune system and going outside and enjoying things and still working out and just making sure that you're proactive rather than reactive, being like, oh, damn, I don't want to die. Now I got to go work out. Mm-hmm. And where we always should have worked out anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's
exactly.
good. So, okay, real quick too. I know we only have a few minutes left. Got two more things for you, Brian. Some people are afraid to go outside. Some people are afraid to go outside. Mm-hmm. And of course, if somebody coughs in the air, it's going to blow somewhere, whether it's floats or lands on the ground. So can we still go outside? Can we still be active? Can we still go hiking or running and jogging and be outdoors?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And it's a great point. I think it's really important to be outside for a lot of different reasons. And one is to not be scared of going into the outdoors. As I talked about at the beginning, this virus is spread some through the air through droplets, and it's in the air around people who have it. But this virus isn't just hanging out in the air all the time. It's not in the water. It's not in the food we're eating. It's not in the grass. And so it is safe to go outside as long as you're keeping your distance away from people for your physical distance. Then it's fine to be outside. So I think it's even more important now, especially as the weather gets nicer this time of year. People are going to get cabin fever. They're cooped up and think that we have to stay inside and eat and watch TV, watch Netflix, and sit on the couch. But it's going to be even more important to get outside, take a walk, take your dog for a walk, take a run, just go outside and just sit and soak up the sun. Vitamin D is good for your immune system too. So on these nice days, just go out and get some sunlight. So yeah, absolutely. Being outside is safe as long as you're a safe distance away from people. And it's even more important, I think, now because for physical health and mental health to be outside and enjoy fresh air.
All right. Last thing, man. So social distancing, and you just actually mentioned it right there. You said physical distancing, right? Mm-hmm. And so the difference between social distancing and physical distancing is we don't need to be social distancing ourselves from people. Okay, we still need to communicate. We still need to go and communicate with people, because what he just said, cabin fever, people getting stuck inside and people just not being whatever. Now, that's the thing. You can go outside. You can still communicate with people. Physical distancing is what we need to do. Stay away from 3 to 6 feet from people. Making sure, of course, if you're feeling not that unwell, make sure you're staying indoors and staying away from people. Keep yourself and everybody else safe. Being proactive and not just be a badass. I talk about being badass all the time, but you also got to be smart when you are a badass. You can't just be a dumb badass. Okay. So physical distancing is key, not social distancing. Would you agree, Brian? Right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it is. I know what they mean. The CDC put that out, and I understand when they said that, but it's
just a different perception.
Term. It is, yeah. And even I saw that on the picture, and I was like, oh no, people are going to see this and think, well, he's crazy. Is a doctor telling people to go out and go to restaurants and bars and be around people? And no, it's about the language. By all means. Yes, it is. It's critically important that we keep a physical distance away from people right now. Unfortunately, I mean, there hasn't been many times in history for most of us who are alive right now where we've had to do this. The last big flu pandemic was in 1918, so most of us don't remember that, weren't alive and haven't seen this. But it's absolutely important to keep a physical distance away from people, stay in small groups. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't still be social, especially in times like now where I can talk to you at your house from the hospital on Zoom, and we've got social media, we've got all these different formats of technology to communicate with one another, and so it's important not to isolate ourselves because that's just going to make things worse mentally, and it's even on the bigger picture, when we're talking about all the financial, economic impact that this pandemic is going to have, and people out of work, and people are going to need help. And so it's even more important to be social right now, to reach out to one another in the community, to help and lend support, and let everyone know that we're here for each other, even though we might not be able to stand physically next to one another right now.
All right. So on the final note, I was actually talking to my cousin earlier from Los Angeles, and he said they're on lockdown. He said the highways are freaking wide open, where Los Angeles has been known to have, traffic jams and everything for hours, 2 to 3 hours, just to go 15 minutes, right? He said it's wide open. And he's like, man, everybody's closed down. Everybody's shut down, man. And people are just working from home. So one of the things he told me, he goes, Cree, man, people over here, I got my friends that they're getting on like a Google Hangout or something like that in video, and they're setting their phones up in their house. So this is one way to keep social interaction, right? He said they're drinking with their buddies like they're there, and they just set a camera up, and they're having parties actually, groups of five ladies on the other side of the camera, and they're still having their happy hour. I thought that was freaking cool. So I'm like, all right, cool. So how can we take this to another level? And they're also playing things like Cards for Humanity or whatever, just playing different games where these adults are who are stuck at home with their other employees, aka their kids or whatever, their dogs and pets, but they're still socially interacting in different ways, which we all need. And a couple things too. So I also I posted live workouts. That's how I'm trying to stay connected with everybody in our community here and with everybody in the world, just trying to post their live workouts from the spot. I've did it every single day this week, 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every single hour on a security camera with Nest Cam, and I also did it with my cell phone on Facebook Live. So there's, as long as you know your why and you want to still get your fitness on and your groove on, I still want you guys to be socially interactive with us. Don't socially distance yourself from me. I think right now we need people to keep you accountable, especially right now. And I'm still here for you guys. And Brian's here for you guys too. He's one of my top dogs too in our training business. Brian's been training with me for almost 10 years now at the spot. Yeah. I know, man. That just came to my head right now. And so I want you guys to still do that. And another cool thing, one final thing too, is I wanted to do something for the community because this has been tough for everybody and it's tough for me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know how April is gonna be. April 6th is a new session. That's in 2 weeks. April 6th is a new session. Who's gonna join our gym? I don't know. I'm just assuming the worst. I'm assuming zero. Let's just say zero. Zero newbies join our gym. But I want to stay interactive with you guys. So do not social distance yourself from me. I want you guys to still communicate with me. I'm actually creating a 30-day, I call it a Stronger You challenge, 30-day Stronger You challenge. It's a totally free challenge. So what I want to do, I had this idea from a buddy actually, where I want to do the 30-day challenge, right? Anybody can join, anybody in the community, and especially within Kansas City. This is open to anybody in the world, actually, but specifically for our community, for all the small businesses that are hurt, maybe hairstylists, and maybe coffee shops, and maybe our members at the spot. But what I want to do, this 30-day challenge, is I want you guys to, if you want to join it, a couple things it's going to do. It's going to keep you accountable. It's going to have workouts for you. It's going to have nutrition coaching for you. It's going to have all this stuff that we always have in the challenge, and it's free to you. But the thing is, the catch is with donations. And what I want to do, instead of me keeping the money for the challenge, all the money, 100% of the money goes to donations into gift cards, community gift cards for people who are in our area, maybe people who are working with you, maybe small businesses too, to help them out. Because I want to give them some money. I want to give them some money. I want to make it big. I want to see people in the community thrive. I want to help everybody I can. And since I can't do that physically right now, I want to do it virtually. So it's going to be a virtual challenge, of course, online challenge. And I'll be with you guys on video. I'll be helping you guys with nutrition and coaching and all that stuff, guys. So it's everything that one of our regular fitness challenges is, but even more so because now we're giving money back to the community. So anywhere it can start as low as $5 donation to join the challenge, that's fine. All the way up to $500 donation. So I'm going to create it. I haven't finished the challenge yet. I started working on it yesterday because I had an idea from my buddy, like I said. And so I want to do that for the people in our community that need help. I need help, to be honest, because like I said, I don't know where we're going to be, guys. And, when you guys pay to be a member of HitFit, for those who are listening who are members, you don't pay just for the workouts. I've told people that many times. It's a monthly membership. If you guys haven't figured that out, it's a monthly membership. That means it might be you get workouts at home. It might be you get nutrition coaching through text message when you guys text me in the middle of the night asking, Cree, are my macros matching up? Cree, I'm doing cardio. What should I do? So those are things that I want to give to you guys so I can help you guys as much as I can. I mean, it's okay, right, if I over deliver, if that's all right with you, Brian?
Yeah, that'll work. I don't think anybody minds when you over deliver.
So do a 30-day challenge, guys. I'm going to post out the links here the next day or two. I want to start the challenge maybe like on Wednesday next week. It's going to be 30-day challenge. Again, and there'll be prizes at the end too. It may not be as big of prizes because all the money, like I said, 100% of the money, guys, is going to people in need right now. I know there's a lot of people in need right now in our community. So whether it's families or businesses or whatever. So I promise I'm not going to keep the money, guys. I'm not like that. I've never been like that. I want to get back. So if you guys want to help me out and help other people out, join the challenge. When I post the link out later, share this video for people who want to learn more, actually straight from a medical director, Brian Hughes, doctor who's actually dealing with this straight head on from the front lines, man. And we go from there, guys. We got to help each other out, man. Got to take care of each other on this, through all this, Brian. Any last words, Brian, before we go here?
No, I think all those things are important. I just tell people there's a lot of misinformation out there on both sides. That people have said this is no big deal, this is just a flu, and it's not. And then all the way to complete panic and buying all the toilet paper and paper towels and everything. So, it's just like a lot of things nowadays. You hear extremes, and then the truth is going to be somewhere in the middle. But it is important. It's important to listen. It's important to take this seriously, and it's no fun right now. I know this is people. We're just in this generation. We haven't been through this before, but it's a perfect time to be stronger. Like you say, be better every day. And this is gonna be really, really tough for a lot of people, mentally, physically. Some people aren't going to make it through this, and some people are going to be really financially hit. But we've just got to group together and continue to be stronger every day. And one way to do that is just keep connected with people, use resources, because I don't think there's many people that are going to get better every day by sitting on the couch and watching Netflix and eating cookies and ice cream. Right. We've got to stay active, stay mentally active, find things to do. read books, expand your knowledge base, exercise, connect with people, connect with Cree, do a challenge, stay active. I know I got up at the beginning of this week and tried to work out in my basement by myself. It's just, I don't want to do this. I got to go to work. And so, the next day I turned on the live feed at 6 a.m. and, instantly just connecting, and just seeing people that I know at the gym and being able to do that workout, even though I couldn't be there, just doing that with people that, those are the kind of things that are going to get everybody through this. And so if I just stay strong, we're going to get through this. This is not going to be forever. And if we all just stay healthy and support each other, and we'll all be good.
Yeah, man. Awesome, Brian, man. Thank you, man. I told people to post questions because we couldn't go live for real. Like we wanted to. Right. I told people to post questions, and a couple people text me with that, but you can just answer them on there so everybody can see it on there. But
yeah, definitely.
Guys, everybody out there, guys, you watch this to the end. Guys, please, please, please share this video. Everybody needs to hear it. A lot of the things you guys may have read and stuff from random people like, oh, there's a cure for it, guys. Just sniff glue. Or, hey, guys, have you heard weird stuff too?
Yeah, actually, there are a couple of those. I should have said earlier, I've heard some strange things, but they've come up as questions too, like, should I spray my body down with, sanitizer and things like that? And no, that doesn't work. Heard things like, should I, there's a theory that heat kills it, and that's true. The virus can only live to a certain temperature. So I've heard if I go into the sauna, then I'm good. It'll kill all the virus.
I heard
and that's not true. Yeah, sauna is good. Sauna is good for your health. So it doesn't mean that you can't do the sauna. That's great if you want to do it, but don't do the sauna thinking you're going to kill the virus. So yeah, there's things like that I've heard too. Some home remedies and things like that. And,
inhaling a citrus boiling steam. I heard that one.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do that one either. I hadn't heard that, but
yeah, I heard that this morning.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Anyway, guys, final words, but we're out of here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please click and share this, guys. Join the 30-day challenge. It's called Stronger You Challenge. It's for the community. It's not for me. It's all for you guys. I'm going to create some new shit for you guys and help you guys out with stuff the best I can virtually while we're stuck at home or wherever. I'm in my basement right now. Get your workout on, whatnot. But we'll keep in touch, guys. You have holler at Brian, holler at myself if you have questions about, working out, health, fitness, whatever. All right, Brian. Thanks, brother, man.
All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Peace.